Unsurprise. This is a normal time for me to be around, isn't it? This is the regular time for me to be around. Nobody should be surprised by this. If you're surprised by this, well, you probably are surprised by anything I do. Because, well, it's not, you're just not used to it. You haven't seen it. Unfamiliar. But, we finished a drawing last week, so I'm going to start something new. In retrospect, I looked at the date and I looked at my calendar and I was like, wow, Christmas is next week, huh? I'm gonna sleep on that. I might make plans, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do for Christmas. So welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm your host, Isaac MCCanary. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. I should have done a Christmas drawing, but I don't even know what drawing I would have done. Could have done, I guess, a couple of different things, but I just want to draw a dinosaur. I was like, I don't know what I want to do today, and then I suddenly got hit by a stroke of inspiration when I was staring at something. Picture I used for today's ad has a Carnotaurus in it. I was like, I like that thing. I haven't drawn a Carnotaurus in a long time. Let's draw a Carnotaurus. So we're going to draw a Carnotaurus. He's one of my faves. He's a weirdo. He's more of a weirdo than I even think people think. And he's one of my favorites. He's a cool guy. I haven't decided yet if I want to do this the way I did last time, if I want to try some painting. So I'm just going to start with the sketch here. We're going to start with the sketch here and then go from there. Because, yeah, I don't know. This is one of my favorite dinosaurs of all time. He's one of my favorite guys. He comes from a group of dinosaurs that are all really goddamn weird. That are some of my favorites because they're goddamn weird. And I think whilst he is maybe the most well-known of his group, he is still kind of probably misconceived a little bit, since he's very weird. Carnotaurus is a very weird creature, actually. And I'm going to try some stuff I haven't tried before. Mainly, I really want to focus on how he is shaped. I also need to zoom in this reference picture I have. I need to get in there. Okay, that is the bottom. I thought so. Mainly, I'm using a reference, and I want to do better at getting the shapes right and moving from there. And of course, I'm using a skeleton reference. Of course I am. The thing that's neat about Carnotaurus is the family that it comes from is something known as the Abylosaurs. The thing about the Abylosaurs is simple. Abylosaurs are weirdos. The reason why they're weirdos is they're like if you took your standard theropod. If you took your standard theropod and then just went, I'm only gonna draw the head and the legs. That's it. That's what all Abylosaurs have in common. It's so weird. They have the weirdest body format of almost any dinosaur because of it. Especially things like Carnotaurus, which seemingly are shaped like nonsense. No, I don't know what that is, and I'm going to ignore it. I don't know what the hell that is doing, and I'm going to ignore it. One of the things I want to do, I want to focus on with this, is I really want to focus on some of the shapes moving forward and getting better at that. This guy's got a bit of a barrel chest. I want to get a little bit better at getting the shapes a little bit more established, and then I do the other bits. Because I'm trying to think more three-dimensionally these days. Certainly much more three-dimensionally than I was before. What I'm gonna do, that's the hip. The fun thing about this bowl, probably have it do something like that. He's got kind of like a collarbone. I gotta remember that dinosaurs kind of have a collarbone like we do. Especially theropods like this. Here's the fun thing about all abylosaurs. Their hands are not hard to draw because they don't have arms. Certainly not significantly enough to warrant them being all that detailed. This is it. Draw some nubs. They just kind of sit off to the side like that. Rest. All legs. Still down. Gonna do, because I'm gonna figure out how to get the tail in shot. The tail is gonna be a little bit difficult. It's gotta go. I want it to kind of loop. Around like that. Cross over here, maybe? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Something like that. Perfect. Well, perfect as it will get. Oh, that's what's causing that. Really? Huh. I was wondering, I don't know if you could see it, but my mouse was doing something weird. And the reason why was because of where it was on the other screen. Alright. Not there. We're going to do a slight change. Want this foot down. Want this foot up. Do that. Disposed of that. But yeah, Carnotaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs, and he's a weirdo. They, like, for obvious reasons, like, the most identifiable thing about Mr. Carnotaurus is his funny little head. But I think that even that gets overstated. Like, I think that's, like, the thing that people see first and are like, whoa, what a weirdo. But then they don't think about the rest of Carnotaurus's body, which is why I like Abylosaurs, is Abylosaurs are weird. They're weirdly shaped. They're weird shaped little freaks. All Abylosaurs kind of have this consistency of a body format that don't make no goddamn sense to me. They don't make no goddamn sense to me. Like, I think the horns on Carnotaurus's head are just, like, one thing that is particularly unique about it. I think the whole thing is a weird creature. Do kind of a shin thing there, yeah. Then this kind of think Abylosaurs also have freakishly long legs. Like at the reference that I'm looking at, Carnotaurus's legs are about twice as long as it is tall. Like, its body is its legs are almost double its height. Like, they've got really, really long legs. It's so bizarre. I find them to be very weird. But I like them. They're weirdos. If I can sway? Yeah, I want that knee there. I need this actually to be longer. In fact, this is only going to be a little bit shorter than that, actually. I think this will be a good follow-up, too, because no feathers. Carnotaurus, as far as I know, did not have feathers. In fact, Carnotaurus is one of the few examples of a dinosaur that we found the skin of, and it was just the skin. There was no feather or anything, as far as I know of. They had kind of like a leathery skin. It's either Carnotaurus or another Abylosaur. I don't remember, but I do know that they were found in Madagascar, which is where this creature heralds. I'll get his teeth. I'll get his teeth. I also don't know why I've kind of seen this a couple times, but every time I've seen a Carnotaurus, they've got kind of like a googly eye. And I like it. But it is something I've consistently seen with Abalosaurs, is that they got a weird googly eye. They almost give him like a lizardy like eye and head and everything. think I need this and this to go right down the center. Trying to think way more plane shaped with a lot of my shapiness. I'm trying to think more three-dimensionally. That's something that in this year I've gotten much, much, much better at, I think, is I'm thinking much more three-dimensionally with my shapes. Hell yeah. God, I love you, Carnotaurus. You're such a cool design. He is. Look at him. He's a weirdo. Do now. Here. Got a plane around here. Just trying to think of my shapes. Just trying to think of my shapes on this creature, because he is a strange creature. So far, I will say, just straight off the bat, this is like probably the most accurate shaping I've done for some paleo art in a long time, I would say. I would say. Not there. Not there. The big thing I really want to capture, shape-wise anyway, how that hooks up this, which is where it gets a little bit weird. Trying to think a little bit more on how the muscles would connect. I love his stupid eye. Got a silly eye. He's got a bit of a silly eye. That would be there. And it would go that. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're good. We're good. Like this. If I wanted to, I might be able to add a couple of riblets, but I think that would come later if I wanted to do that, and I don't know if I want to do that. Right now, we're just getting down our base. he's just such a weird creature. I might look. I might see if I want to color this one because it's coming out pretty good so far. I would say. I look at me. Look at me cheating a little bit. It's not cheat. It's a tool. It's a tool. So that one's there, and it would be on the other side, probably a little bit more. Actually, to give it a little bit more sizing. Got these, they have these arms that don't do nothing. These arms don't do nothing. The Bilosaur arms crack me up. They just are there because it's like, eventually they were like, we just have these to show that we were tetrapods, okay? We don't need these no more, and probably given enough time, they would have absolutely practically lost them. Just become a head and legs. What's funny is there's a hypothetical biology book that I really like. It's pretty good. That's about like what would happen if the dinosaurs hadn't gotten extinct. And they drew like an evolutionary speculative species based on actually Tyrannosaurus that was like that, where the head kept on getting bigger, but the but the arms kept getting smaller. And I'm like, no, these guys were definitely that, because the thing about T-Rex arms is they weren't big, but they weren't yet vestigial. Vestigial would imply that they like were immobile, and that's just not true. The arms of T-Rex were still quite palpable. I don't know. They had elbows, for God's sake. When you look at the frickin' arms of a Bilosaur, on the other hand, that's vestigial. They don't even have elbows no more. Or they do, but it's very, very faint. It's like here-ish. Their limbs, their arms were in the process of reducing to a point of actual uselessness. They were vestigial. Whereas T-Rex still had, like, pretty flexible arms from the looks of it. Like, at least everything that I've seen, they always look like they still could, like, have some mobility and motility to them. So, dinosaur. Dinosaur. Yeah. It's my favorite guy. It's my favorite guy. I do like this guy. I like Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus is great. This might be... Is this the first time I've drawn Carnotaurus? At least live on stream? Maybe not in a long time, if I have before. Gotcha. He's one of my faves. He is one of my faves, so I wouldn't be surprised if I drew him before. And I'm trying something a little bit different, in that I am sketching him out like I normally would, but I'm very, very much wanting to focus on getting this sketched out, and then I want to either use a different layer or draw over this and maybe color it and texture it, like actually give it a render go over, because rendering is something I've really, really enjoyed doing, and I feel like I've been doing very good rendering, so I might as well keep on working on that and keep developing that process because it's been working out for me very, very well. Back when I was just starting, maybe. I mean, Carnotaurus has been and will always be one of my favorite dinosaurs because he is a freak. He is a weirdo. He's a cool weirdo. It's what's funny is I feel like Carnotaurus was super popular, but even then, like most depictions of Carnotaurus was just a T-Rex with horns on their head. When actual Carnotaurus looks fucking weird, man. He is weird. I think he's weird. Like in a good way though. I love the way that Carnotaurus looks. You had a friend who had a JP Carnotaur? Yeah. Hey, I know what JP is. I had a couple JP toys. I actually don't know if I had specifically any Jurassic Park toys, but I definitely saw them and went, boy. I definitely had some dinosaur toys. I think my favorite dinosaur toy was either a Spinosaurus or an Allosaurus. That was my favorite dinosaur toy, from my memory. Need to get in on them toes. Get in on them toes, man. Them to be good. But Carnotaurus is a really cool dinosaur in that it's also done some important stuff, right? Like it was one of the first skin impressions that we've ever gotten for a dinosaur, I believe was Carnotaurus. If not Carnotaurus, some Abylosaur. But I'm pretty sure it was Carnotaurus. Abylosaurus themselves is also just a weirdo, man. I love the Abylosaurs. I've also spoken of probably one of my other favorites, Majungatholus, because he's got, well, Majungatholus or Majungasaurus. I call him Majungatholus, but books will call him. It flips. And I actually think that probably Majungasaurus is the correct way to say it now. It's no longer Majungatholus, which sucks. I prefer Majungatholus. It sounds cooler. But I do believe it is Majungatholus now. It is no longer Majungasaurus. Or I do think it is no longer Majungasaurus. Or I think it is Majungasaurus, not Majungatholus. But I don't know for certain. But he's a weirdo too. He's the same family. Same family, yeah. I should find out if Abylosaurs are the class or the family. Abylosaurs. Abelosauridae is the family. Okay. There's a Pachycephalosaurus. Pachycephalosaurus is good too. Actually, don't. I think we had mostly meat eaters. We had mostly carnivores, theropods. I don't think we had any herbivores. I don't think we had any ornithischians. At least I don't remember having an ornithischian. Not that I have a problem with ornithischians or anything. I wouldn't have a problem with them. Aww. Dude, losing your toy as a kid is always the worst feeling on the planet, man. Ugh. There's nothing more heart-wrenching and breaking than being a kid and losing your favorite toy. Can't remember the first toy I lost was. I know there was a toy that got destroyed over time that I was super bummed about, and I didn't know what happened to it. There was like a transformer that we just lost all the parts for, and I was like, man, we get one transformer, one freaking transformer, and it's just in shambles. I have no idea what happened to it. It like it was a big ray, like a manta ray essentially, that was the transformer. It was a Beast Wars transformer. And it was like a big ray. I think it was Starscream. I think Starscream was Big Manta Ray. I don't remember. Or it was what's his name? Who's supposed to be the spaceship? I can't remember his name. The space shuttle. Who's the one who transforms into a space shuttle? Can't remember his name. I should know his name. I feel like I should. I was a big enough Transformers kid that I knew their names. And I definitely don't remember it now. But he like in Beast Wars he transformed into a manta ray and he was like super big, but like all of his like parts had like kind of fallen off of him and got lost. He didn't really have any of his original bits. He had most of his body. He couldn't fully transform anymore. It super sucked. I was like, "Aw, man. Dang it." Like by the time I was old enough to actually consciously play with it, I was like I could tell or my one of my brothers had just lost all the pieces and I was like, "Man, this sucks." It's probably me. I won't say it wasn't me. I felt like I was responsible for it, but I can't say for certain whether or not it was me who lost all the parts to that big ray transformer. So, goddamn, I feel like I took off on this like a fucking rocket. I feel like this is coming along really quickly, really well. Dinosaur! Dinosaur. Hello, Creeper. How have you been? Sorry if my schedule changing has thrown everybody off. Like I said, I think it should equalize here soon in that it'll become the norm. Hopefully you guys get used to it. That's more of the thing. Is like it's not going to change, or rather it's going to stop changing and it'll just be the way that it is now. I think that's what's going to be important. Is hopefully you guys get used to it and then you can just be like, "Oh, he's live now." This happens a couple times. This happens every couple of, months. Something changes in my life and then I have to completely redesign everything. It's fun. Hope everybody has plans for Christmas. I hope you have a good Christmas. I don't really have any, actually. I have no ideas what I'm gonna do. And I just mean that as in, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I'm not gonna do much, put it that way. But I also understand that I'm at a certain point that right now what's important is focusing on making it through Christmas and not thinking about Christmas exactly. I think a lot of people are feeling that, but I also think that a lot of people are understanding that. Like, what's important? Christmas as Christmas time spent together or Christmas as Christmas expectations? And I'm at the point that I'm like, this year I need Christmas as Christmas is meant to be. And I can't put expectations on myself because I will just make myself sad. When I know what's going on right now, I'm like, there's so much. It doesn't need to be that, and I don't need to worry about it. And that's fine. I don't know if I'm gonna fully cancel Christmas. We'll see. I might. I might endeavor to do a Christmas special like I do every year. I mean, we've developed our traditions here too. I would be quite amiss if we did not end up doing Skeel, but I'm also like, I don't know what we would do other than Skeel, so we'd have to have something as like a main thing to do for the day or a backup. But um, yeah, at the moment I do not have plans for Christmas. And that's next fucking week. And I was like, oh no. I might do some Christmas stuff, but I don't think I'm going to do that much. I just don't have anything in mind. And this year I've been so focused on other things that if I do anything, it'll be like the day, maybe the day before, maybe the day after. I might not even have Christmas special stuff lined up that heavily. And to everybody else out there, I certainly do not blame anyone this year for not being like, yeah, Christmas. I think the best thing anyone can do this year or any year is to have Christmas be just a time. Just let it be the time. Spend time of Christmas. Don't worry about anything else. Don't fucking worry about gifts or any of that shit. Just have Christmas. I think we should. I think we should, especially now. Because things suck in a lot of ways. So there's no need to put more on by an expectation of what Christmas should be. Because really, Christmas should be whatever you manage to do for Christmas. Oh no, not the toilet. Not the skibidi toilet. Not in Fortnite. Not in Fortnite. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I think I got the sizing on that right. I'm trying to do so this is something I struggle with every now and then is spacing of things, of three-dimensionality, especially if something is behind something. That's something I struggle with a lot, and I'm trying to get better at that. I think I got it. There we go. Got the Riz. Oh, hydrate bot. Might shorten. Might shorten one bit and lengthen another bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take. Where is my loop tool? We're gonna shorten this. What's funny is I need to shorten this down, and then I need to lengthen. Yeah, this needs to be shorter. So slightly shorter. Now, I actually need to take it again, and I need to lengthen the whole thing. In fact, more like this-ish. 'cause it's a little bit over half as long. Take a lasso. Or like that. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, that needs to be a little bit longer. That-ish. Find it interesting, but these guys have like a spur. I didn't know these guys have a spur. What I mean by a spur is they have got a toe up here. This is something I want to be better about implementing, because it's like a part operates something like that. There we go. Yeah, that's an interesting spot for that to be. And it is not quite halfway up, but it is out there. It's just like bit. It's just like a bit. But based on how it is like positioned on the foot, it should always be off the ground. That's interesting. I don't know what they would need a spur for. And then this bit, I think, just is back heel stuff. Goes like that. There we go. I love my freak. I love him. He's so cool. He's the coolest freak. Ooh, I really like that posing. I think what we'll do, we'll kind of exaggerate out this mouth a little bit bigger. Oh, my favorite, when it decides to do this shit. Something more like that-ish. maybe? On that eye a little bit. I don't know why, but every time I've seen Carnotaurus drawn, he's got a bit of a bulgy eye. He's got a little bit of a bulgy eye. I've never understood why. Kind of like a collarbone. That bit of a collarbone here. Bit of a belly, maybe? Don't judge. I don't judge. I am not judging. At least I better not sound like I'm judging. Why would I judge? What would I have to gain? Judgment of my beloved. Maybe. He looks very, very good. He looks very good. I like it. I like it. I like his weird, dumpy hands. They look really silly. Got weird, like, dumpy fingers. That way. Probably not, but we'll see. I do like that shape, though. He's got a little bulgy, wolgy eye. Got a little bulgy, wolgy eye, you're right. He has a little bulgy, wolgy. Like a little. Like a little bit. This is what's tough. So the head should be triangle shaped. That. We go like that. Want that to go all the way that way. Want this to go all the way this way. There, that's what I was forgetting. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. I like that a lot. Mr. Carnotaurus, you look good. You look good, sir. It's been a while since I've seen you. You look good. You look great in your photograph. Like you hadn't you hadn't dayed an age. Like you hadn't aged a day. Not even dayed an age. I think shape-wise, this is maybe the best theropod I've done in a while. Just like pure shaping, he's come out really, really good. And I love this pose. This pose came out really. I haven't done this pose in a long time. This used to be like one of my staple poses: is 1 foot down, 1 foot up. And I haven't done that in a long time. I don't know why I haven't done it in a long time. Oh, it's just not something I've really worked on. Is that pose? But I think this is a very good start. And I think I've just gotten a much better sense of how to like three-dimensionally shape things. He has a lot more roundness to him. What can I say? Carnotaurus is kind of a round creature. With weird baby hands. That's the important thing. They're baby hands. They're not like T-Rex hands. They're not like any theropod hands. They're human baby hands. Like, Abylosaurs are fucking weird. Don't know why they have weird baby hands. They got weird baby arms. Is what I would describe them as. Is baby arms. I think. This is something I'm getting much more precise at, I think. Get in there. How many teeth you got? Okay, we've got. Looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? 13 top teeth. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lower teeth. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Perfect. Six, 7, 8. Ooh, that looks good. I like that. That way. This is something I want to just do better at, is like getting these little details in here. Again, I feel like a lot of times I would just be lazy on this kind of stuff. I just want to be more precise in a lot of this stuff. Boy, that looks great. Boy, he looks great. Don't he just look grand? My boy. My boy. Carnotaurus. This go like, honestly, like that. This. Trying to get those planes down. Yeah, that's cool. Can do something like this. I'll leave that line in there as a guideline. Like to something like that. Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Damn, it's only been an hour. I've gotten also very, I feel like, proficient at this. Like, I've just gotten very quick. That is in a way, like, not typical for me. Like, I've just really improved my rate at which I can produce stuff like this. Which is good. I needed to. I think it's one of the things I struggled with the most, is being able to increase my production rate when it comes to anything. I feel like production was something I was very bad at. It's something I neglected a lot because I just didn't have the confidence more than anything else. Sure, the skill, but just the confidence in being able to produce things that fast. I always felt, I brought this up before, that for a long time I felt like I had to spend a lot of time to get decent quality production. The amount of time that it took me was way too long for what would make it worth doing. And I think I've really stomped that. I've really done a good job of like being able to overcome it. At least that's the way I feel. I feel like I've gotten much more proficient at, generally speaking, being able to like just really bust a sketch out pretty quickly, get into rendering pretty quickly. It used to take me days to get to this point. Now I'm getting it done like, in the first stream. Look at him. He looks so good. He looks so happy to be here. Doesn't he look so happy to be here? Should also look up what the environment of Madagascar would have been like, because if I do something similar, I might do actually something similar to my Saltosaurs, where I put them in like a mock-up background, given like how quick this went, and then I paint the background like I did that one, because that was really fun to do. And I want to say that prehistoric Madagascar was much more green. Much more green. At least, at the time when Carnotaurus and other Abylosaurs were alive. I don't know. I know I brought it up with the picture with the what's a tech? The what's a tech? The Velociraptor and Protoceratops picture. I feel like a lot of that had a lot of focus on the environment, on me talking about that environment and how lucky it was that the environment for ancient Mongolia seemingly was just always a fucking desert. Not the case in all places. Places were weird. Most of Europe was a bunch of island chains at one point during the Jurassic and Cretaceous. Europe wasn't just underwater, it was just a series of islands. This is where this becomes difficult now. That this needed to be wedge shaped like that. I need to wedge shape it. One of the things I need to learn with this pen stylus is that I actually find myself pushing a little bit too hard. Find myself pushing in a little bit too hard, unintentionally. I don't need to push that hard down. And it messes with stuff, actually. Get him, Silos! Get him! Kill! They're back! Sick him! Be like Carnotaurus, rip him apart. Kick him apart. Honestly, Carnotaurus' kicks are probably fuck well. Silos! Silos! Silos, I'll do it. I'll do it. I can do it. I just want you to do. I just want to give you the opportunity to do the thing. I know you enjoy doing it, and it helps me not worry about it. You have an interloper. He must go to hell. Rest the robots. He must go to hell with the rest of the robots. There we go. God, yeah, I love him. I like how that leg came out. That leg came out really, really good. The shape on that leg is really, really good. It gave his tail a kind of weird kink at the end there, but I just want to give it a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more character for it. I think that seems about right. Yeah, the legs are about the right size. Thing. Flat like that. Just trying to get the shape right. Try that maybe? Something like that? Yeah, something like that, I think. Like that. Just to be more flat. More flat. More flat. Even more flat. trying to decide. Yeah, I probably want them close in together like that. Maybe something like that. Like that-ish. Something like that, maybe? Like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit better at my shapiness when it comes to this. So, like, kind of working on these planes helps to get things in the right spot a little bit better. I'm thinking a lot more in polygons these days. Thinking much more polygonally, which is helping a lot, actually. There we go. There we go. Like that. Like that-ish. Where it's awkward. Trying to get that toe defined in right way. Seems to only have one joint. Oh, I have that correct. Because most toes have three. You have three. Do something like that. Really trying to focus in on it now. That maybe? That? This maybe. Really trying to do better about this kind of stuff. Because I feel like in the past I've been notorious for being a little bit lazier. I'm not being lazy no more. I'm not allowed to be lazy no more. I gotta be like a real good artist. Yeah, something like that. Ooh. Yeah, have the right number of toes. If I got the right number of toes. A bit more. Out there-ish. More like that, maybe? Maybe something more like these. Maybe more like these. These. There we go. Thinking something more like that? Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Much better. I feel like toes are something that I actually struggle with a lot. So those are some pretty good. Those are some pretty nice toes, if I do say so myself. Those are some pretty fine toes, if I do say so myself. Read this. There we go. That about does the sketch. Which honestly, not bad. Pretty good time. Took me under 2 hours. Took me under an hour and a half. I can definitely say that this screen really does also help a ton with how long it takes me to do things. Like that got made really fast. Honestly, no. Just keep it centered like that. Takes up most of the screen. That's pretty good. Now, do I want to do color or not? This is the question. If I do color, I need to start with color and then do rendering next. I need to decide now whether or not I want to do color, and I'm a bit indecisive. But I have some ideas if I decide to do color. I do have ideas if I do decide to do color. I just don't know if I want to or not. And I have no ideas on what colors I'd want to use if I did. I don't know. I'm a bit indecisive on that. Actually, what I need to do, take a lasso, this here, right? And shorten it. About there. Yeah. Perfect. Just to be more in line with the other one. Ooh. Done. Simply. One button. God damn. He looks so good, man. God dang, he looks so good. Look at my good boy. Look at my good boy. Look at my boy. He's just like a big dog. It's like a big pit bull. That's the thing, is Abyliosaurs also have very unique shaped heads, I feel like, compared to a lot of theropods. Especially like Carnotaurus. Again, he doesn't have just a T-Rex head. If anything, he has a very distinct head compared to things like T-Rex and stuff. He's got like the head of a monitor, not a monitor lizard, of like a Gila monster. He's got a very like snub face. It's short, it's round, it's really bizarre. Trying something? I don't know if I'll like it. I need to look up a turkey. 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 That's the country. I need the bird. Thank you. These are all dead. I need a live turkey, damn it. Ugh. Turkey heads look gross, actually. Turkeys have the nastiest... Turkey's got the nastiest heads, man. I don't even know if I want to do this. Definitely want to... something down here. I want some weird waddliness to it, so... Is something I've always liked adding to my theropods. And in this case, I really want it to be kind of like weird, big, and knobbly. Just something about Abylosaurs. They have such little else going on. They feel like they'd have really wild looking heads. Like it feels like with something like the horns with the head ornamentation, they've got to have like really extravagant heads, I feel like. They should have at least a little bit of warbliness. Just like a little bit. Just like a little bit. Just like a little bit. Not that much, just like some. Make him a lumpy guy. Make him a little lumpy. And this is something that I prefer to try to do, is like try to add soft tissue anyways. Because I think in the case of like dinosaurs and stuff, like too many times they're depicted without very much soft tissue at all, when they probably have a bunch of soft tissue that we just don't even know about. Make him gross and lumpy. Let's make him a gross weirdo. Make him a nasty boy. Yeah, I like that. I actually like that look a lot. Like I said, I want to make him kind of a gross, nasty boy. Like a little bit. He's like a little bit. Just make him weird normally. Make him weird normally. There we go. There we go. I don't know. That feels right to me. That he's just got a weird, gross, fleshy thing. Sometimes birds just have that, man. Look at a goddamn turkey. They're sins against nature. I feel like. There we go. More nobles. A little bit more noobly. And more creasy and gross. There we go. There, something like that. Maybe something like that-ish? Something like that-ish? Maybe? There we go. I just want to very carefully add that, is the question. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. It's gross. I like it. It's weird and it's gross and it's weird and it's lumpy and I like it. Like that it's weird, lumpy, and gross. There we go. He looks nasty. I like it. He looks nasty, like a turkey. There. Now, I don't know how I want to handle the thing going across his back. There we go. Yeah, I like how weird that, like, neck thing is. And if I was to think about it, if I was to think about color, I might think about color, we'll see. Do this on top. No. I'm going to do a color, probably this blue. Smaller. Like that. This blue. What? What? Look! You can tell people that you like my dinosaurs.
Yes, I love your dinosaurs. Oh my gosh. I was bummed out I was going to miss the start of a new one.
No.
I'm getting to see it in person. So this is the new tablet?
Mm-hmm. It's nice,
huge.
honestly. And it's already... I feel like I'm already making better things.
Oh. Oh.
Thank you. Finish the other one, too.
Yeah, no, I got really excited. That wing, in my opinion.
Thank you.
My hands wet. I was being cleaning tank.
I believe you.
I believe you. Here, take a dry one.
Love my cat. Yeah. Ooh. So much good progress. It still blows my mind that this is just the start today. And I definitely think I should use color. Well, now I'm going to use color. Darn. I was like, I don't know if I should use color. Now I'm like, yeah, I should use color.
Come and get me. I want to see the progress.
Okay.
I mean, today.
All right. Ooh, that's a good color. Ooh, that's a good color. You got a sandy color. I mean, let me think about it. What the hell is the environment in Madagascar? What is Madagascar like? I don't even know. Well, we got the Meverano formation, which I've never heard of before. Paleo environment. Low relief alluvial plain. That doesn't tell me anything. Shallow river flowed northwest from the Central Highlands. Evidence debris flows. Paleo soils, reddish include root casts. This is a floodplain. It is a floodplain. It's like a delta. Really? Wait a sec. Yeah, no, Cretaceous. Cretaceous. Interesting. Oops. Something I want to get better at with my coloring. So just add a little bit at a time. Anyways. I want to use this color. This color looks nice. Golden. No. Put this. No. Put this. Ooh, maybe. Ooh, I do like that color though. Here's what we're gonna do. Definitely going to use this brown. Yeah. Can't help it. I like me in Auburn. Me in Auburn. Here we go. We're gonna go back to that lighter brown, and then we'll use the Auburn for something else, I think. I definitely think I'm going to do this like colored pencil style, essentially. Start with this. Then the Auburn should be here. No. Gray, maybe? Okay. Oh, yeah. He looks like a goose. He looks a little bit like a goose now. I mean, probably should look a little bit like. Just want to layer it a little bit at a time. Then I'm a big fan of doing this weird stuff. Inside of the mouth is blue. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. I don't even know where I first saw that, but I love doing that, where the inside of the mouth is blue, like that. I don't know the first time I ever saw that, but I like blue mouth. I don't even know what animal has a blue mouth like that. I've definitely seen it, but I don't know where. Maybe not that dark. That. That. God damn. Maybe I do just draw dinosaurs for a while. I might just draw dinosaurs for a while. Maybe I should. And I'm really enjoying drawing dinosaurs, so. Who am I to myself from doing something I'm enjoying doing? Why would I not want to do more of it? Enjoying doing it. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Just trying to be much more conscientious of that kind of shapiness. Funny is, I think where I get the idea of this kind of blue actually comes from the most recent dinosaur thing I saw where they had carnivores. Carnivores had like little blue hands, and I'm like, nah, dog, you got a whole blue schnoz. Ooh, that's interesting. Like this. Something half that. Go super fine. And I think the best way to handle that part. Let me look to my carnivores. There you are. Need this. There we go. Oops. Ah, beans. I meant to do this on a different layer. Didn't even use that layer. Don't even need that layer. Fuck it. I mean, I like what I'm going for here. Again, I'm a big proponent of going to my roots with this kind of thing and saying, screw it. This is pretty much just using colored pencil at this point. What I'm doing. Effectively, I'm just using colored pencil. Thank you. Thank you. Dinosaurs coming along nicely, I think. Appreciate it, Creeper. Yeah, I'm very happy with how it's looking. And I want this lighter color. Color this bit. Go in single little bits. Just single little bits. Want for brown. I think I want the brown here. Probably do a finer one. Rest of it. I say. It's like drawing dinosaurs. Maybe someday I actually revisit my dumb dinosaur tutorial that I made back in elementary school and do it correctly. Where I told everybody how to draw dinosaurs, and I did it so bad. Like, we were like asked to make like essentially a tutorial where we teach something. You have to learn how to teach something like in third grade, which is already a lot to ask of third graders, in my opinion. But I was like, okay. Even back then, I was, drawing dinosaurs. I was like, I'll teach everybody how to draw a dinosaur. And the dinosaur I taught everybody to draw, because I was very ill-equipped, was I was like, first, draw body. This is the dinosaur that I drew, everyone, which is not the dinosaurs that I drew, because I didn't think about it. I drew this. Like, you draw body. Then you draw a head. Oops. It's like, if you want to draw a T-Rex head, you draw like a boxy head like this. Give it an S. Then you give it a body. That. And then I was like, there's two ways you could do legs, but for now I'm gonna do like this. And then I showed them only one way to do legs. I showed them how to do legs like this. It's like, that's how you do the legs. Drawing is hard, man. This is how I taught people to draw a dinosaur back in elementary school, and you know what? All things considered, I still had a good idea of what I was doing. I think I had a pretty good idea of what I was doing. I think I knew what I was doing. This is practically how I would have drawn a dinosaur in elementary school. But I would have done the legs different, and I told everybody to do the legs like this, and then I didn't tell people how to do the legs differently, and it was like, oh, well, shit. That's how you draw a dinosaur, guys. It's just like that. It's that easy. It is. It's hard to do, and then it's even harder to teach. I can't really teach drawing. You just can only guide people. You can't really teach it, though. Not in my experience. Nothing I've learned was very taught to me very deeply, other than, hey, here's some practice assignments, go do them. That's about the only teaching I got when it came to drawing, which is not bad. They weren't like bad teachers for it. but it's not really something I like feel like I would say I did get a bunch of experience in college for it. I would say college definitely helped a bunch. Uh-huh. Screen is small, yeah. You could still grab I used to do drawing on my phone, and I recommend if you want to practice digital drawing on your phone, grab yourself any pen. Any pen. There are pens like this. They have a little nub on the bottom. They've got like a little nub. It's like a little rubbery nub. Use those on a phone as a stylus. You'll improve, actually. That is how I did phone drawing for a while. And as for physical media, my recommendation is always as follows. If you feel that you are having too hard a time correcting something, then you're actually pressing too hard. And that's just, oh, that's a skill issue. No, that's just practice. You just gotta, I say, remember, keep this in mind. Just be like, am I pushing too hard? Because you can't. You can. I have found that the best way to use paper medium and not have it screw you is don't push hard until you're certain you want the lines to go there. Take as many strokes, as many passes as you need. Don't needle it in. It just you'll screw yourself. That's the best way to be able to remove, fix, or adjust something on physical medium is if you simply just don't press too hard. You gotta. It's always light. Doesn't matter what the hardness of the pencil is. Never push too hard. Also use harder pencils. I was a dummy. I usually did like a medium weight for the most part, but I would say like a lot of my drawing has improved because regardless of what weight pencil I start with, which is usually still a medium weight, I just don't push as hard as I used to. And you will know you are using the right weight of pencil if you get the desired amount of like medium down without pushing hard. That's what's important to remember too. And whilst an undo button certainly is helpful, I'm not saying it isn't helpful in this case. A lot of that goes to this too. If you watch closely, a lot of what I do is not as heavy. It's not as heavy. I'd go very, very light. Start up. That's a big part of it, is you just gotta build over it a little bit at a time. Press too hard. Time with. There we go. And a lot of the stuff I'm doing here does still apply to physical medium. A lot of the techniques I'm using are also things that I would use and one should use during physical technique. So if you have any questions or anything, if you're like, how do you do that? I can always do my best to explain it. And that's what is important is like, oops. to remember is that the best I can do is explain what's happening. I can't tell you to do it. I can't tell you that it's the right way to do it, but it is the way that I do it. At this point, I would say, I don't know. I'm decent. Something like that. Something like that. Maybe a little lighter. I don't want to cover up those teeth is the problem. So I don't know if I want to make the teeth black or not. I want to go even lighter. Maybe this is something that I'm particularly bad about, if more than anything else, but it is something I will try. I kind of remember this starting to work a little bit better, or I just kind of worked into it. Then we're gonna switch this over to the heart round. Bit at a time. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not about removing, about reducing. I still don't know who made this mix, and I'm just glad that they did. It's so pleasant. Something finer. Something like that. that. Just start solidifying the parts you actually want to. Oh yeah. Really I need to focus on more stuff like that. Start fleshing this out. I really like that line I just made. It's a good line. It's a good line. Like that. Switch to the other. Hell yeah. That looks good. Do this lighter. This kind of. Ooh. Something like that. A little bit lighter. Yeah, this is looking quite nicely now. This is looking quite nicely. This is looking quite good. Gonna do slightly darker. Trying to use fewer lines. Actually utilizing counter shades and stuff. I think will look really, really good. The more I use it, I gotta use it more. Lighten this up a little bit, but add a little bit more. A little bit more texture, really what I'm going for. There we go. I just have to focus on adding more medium. A little bit at a time. Something like that. A little bit more fine. Yeah, that looks good. Let's get funky with it. This is a darker. Gotta go back. Do like me a little iridescence, so just adding a little there. Purple and blue go really, really well together when it comes to stuff like this. Hi. Looks really, really good when you use it. Just like that. Do something like that. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. I like the style of hard edging things now. Don't take that out of context. It's a term I'm using, okay? There you go. Like that. Really like how that's shaping that too, and how it's blending together. The blending together is looking quite good as well. Like that, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. Ooh. That's a neat effect. Oof, I am beside myself. That's really good. As I have been told, I have been on some kind of roll, man. I'm glad. I'm gonna try to stay on that roll for as long as possible. That's for dang sure. Yeah, this is gonna look really, really good. And then I think for the teeth, I just need to take this maybe. I prefer yellowish teeth. I don't know why, but I do. When it comes to my dinosaur teeth. This does remind me that colored pencil is probably one of those mediums that I always forget that I have a lot of practice in, actually. It's like, wow, I forgot I really use this a lot, don't I? Especially when I was younger. Colored pencil was actually one of the first mediums I learned, I think, was colored pencil. Ooh. Mm. He looks good. He looks good. I like him. Do now. Lighten a couple of spots right there ish. Actually, I'm gonna do. And actually, like this. Up to 10. I'll darken that a little bit. Then we want to go super fine. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's dope as shit. Heck yeah, that's dope as shit. This and I'm just gonna build on it, I think. Happy with it. It's just gonna radiate out from the eye. Okay, from this, or like that. Oops, didn't mean to go that big. Yeah, I like that color. I like that I have it radiating out that way. There we go. Switch it over to the hard edge. Still haven't decided if I'll do a background. I probably will, actually. Especially given how quick this has turned out. I might do a background for it. We'll see. It's Came out really quick. Time for my classic trick. X-Acto knife. X-Acto knife is absolutely a must-have if you're doing um any sort of colored pencil. It is a must-have, without question. Colored pencil in particular has a nasty habit of almost requiring it. Like making me weird eyes. Ooh, that's interesting. Why not? Get the blue? There. Here. I like his weird neck thing. I like his weird neck thing. Looks good. Weird neck fleshy bit. I don't know what else I would call it than that, but it is what it is. This way. That. Darken it a little bit. And back through here. Go finer. Knock those out a little bit more. Want those teeth to pop. Draw a theropod without sharp teeth. Come on now, that's part of the reason why kids want to look at a theropod is the big freaking teeth, and that's about all Carnotaurus has going for him is his teeth and the horns on his head. No shade to Carnotaurus, of course. That's what I like about Carnotaurus is he's mostly head and teeth. Hell yeah. That looks good. Go ahead and add a little bit more of that brown there. A little bit bigger. Add a little bit more there. One is I need a little bit more saturation, I think. Finer. Yep. Just added a little bit more depth. What that needed. This might need just a little bit of lightness. This is gross, Nick. Love it. Love his weird, gross neck. Yeah. Looks good. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna switch to you. Go finer. Yeah. Just gonna do that. That's nice. The goal is not to fix anything, it's just to reduce it a little bit, give it a little bit more depth. Blend it a little bit more too. So that helps to blend it a little bit more. You gotta remember this is an eraser, so I can just kind of go out. Don't have to be that precise. Yeah! Check that shit out. Check it out. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that's coming out. Put that brown there. Blue mouth. Like I said, I don't know where I came up, where I saw this like blue coloration. I think it is very much a bird thing. Gizzard wizard. It is he. He is the gizzard wizard. You are correct about that. He does cast spells from his gloitus, is what I'm gonna call it, and I don't like that. It's where the mana is stored. The gloitus is where the mana is stored. Awful. This dinosaur definitely casts spells. Look at how much blue he's got. Look at how much blue he has on his body. This dinosaur definitely casts spells. This dinosaur full of magic. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Ooh, I like that effect I've got on it, too. Looks quite good. There we go. This one. So gross and yucky. I love it. Look at how gross and yucky it looks. Isn't it so cool? I love it. And I don't think I regret coloring now. I do not regret coloring this at all. I was like, I don't know if I want to color it, guys. That seems ambitious. Never. Ambition's my middle name right now. Guys, that never goes poorly for anyone. Ambition never goes poorly for anyone. I read Macbeth. Macbeth. And I haven't even gotten to the render yet. I'm just coloring. I've thought about a couple ideas on how I was going to handle it, but haven't gotten there yet. For now, I'm just coloring. For now, I'm just coloring, honestly, because it's fun. Because coloring can be fun. My blue. There it is. Hell yeah. And stuff like that. Get a little bit more shapiness, a little bit more coloration, a little bit more hue. A little bit more hue, a little bit more blue, you know what I mean? There we go. No, I have no evidence that the Carnotaurus had something like this. This is completely experimental. This is the thing that I do like about paleo art that unfortunately gets sullied from time to time because this happened once. Where the thing that's good about paleo art is it is based on hypotheses that are at least tangible but are never concrete. Like that's the important thing to remember. Is like you can make hypotheses on it, but for stuff like this, it is just to be like, this is what it would look like if it had one of these. And that's different than saying it has one. And the reason why I bring that up is there's a pretty infamous case of a paleo artist, a really good paleo artist, who was like, check this out, guys. I know what pterosaurs really looked like. And I'm sure he could use the same excuse that I just did, but part of what makes it infamous is, as far as I know, he didn't. He was just like, I know what they're shaped like. I draw them all the time. They're shaped like this. And it was bad. It was bad. And that's what's important to remember, is when I make something like this, I say, I look at the skeleton, I'm like, this is what it would, the skin and the muscles and the bones would look like around the skeleton. The skeleton and the proportions should still be anatomically correct. Anything else that's extra is purely conjecture. Like, that's just me being an artist, having fun with it. That's me saying, If it had a weird neck gloitus, that's what the neck gloitus would look like. But I don't know if Carnotaurus had that. I don't know. There's no evidence for it right now. And that's where I think, for responsibility's sake, if you do paleo art, you have to make that distinction. You should be doing, and science illustration in that respect is, if you are working on a piece, remember to separate your more artistic interpretations from your scientific illustration. Keep the sciencey part sciencey, and the arty part arty. Like, I'm still basing it, like, the neck bit off of something real. Like, I looked at a turkey for 2 seconds and went, I want to stop looking at that. But I have a reference. There has to at least be some frame of reference for why I've given it this in this shape. And I'm basing it off of the way that the turkey globble does. So, it's still based on at least some kind of anatomical reality, just not one that is particular to Carnotaurus. And that speculation just comes from artistic interpretation, artistic interest in wanting to explore that. And that's where, like, doing paleo art like this appeals the most to me, is being able to do that kind of thing. Personally, the reason why I like doing paleo art is being able to have that medium of being able to say, I'm making something based on scientific analysis, but have the artistic freedom to be able to make hypotheses, or at least make just fun designs based on real life. Because that's the biggest thing is you need to base your observations on some kind of observation, even if it isn't in the bones. You can make interpretations like this without it being in the bones, because you can look at a turkey and be like, dinosaurs closest theropod, the only living theropods now are birds. So you use birds, you should use birds as your reference. You should. Look at that thing. Probably jiggles. Probably jiggles when he walks. I love. There and get He looks good, though. I really like how this is turning out. I look good. I look good. More red. A little bit more red. Out of 10. That. There. More like that. Sharpen it. Sharpen the horn. Sharpen the horn. Sharpen the horn. Yeah, that's looking good. Just gotta do more stuff like that. Damn. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. That's looking really, really good. Oop. Whoopee. Oh, that's what happened. I was like, this sounds weird. Why does this sound weird? How did that? It somehow got bumped up to 2. I don't know how it did. That was like, that sounds weird. That's not what that should sound like. That doesn't sound right. That would be why. Actually, you'd to make that a little bit more translucent. Or translucent, more reflective. That's the term I'm looking for. More reflective there. Inside, in fact, patch where the God damn, this freaking. This tablet has been a lifesaver in a lot of ways. Holy shit. Definitely was not making stuff like this before, even with that pen and laptop. But granted, I think I was just getting started getting to that level, and then my laptop fucking broke. I think it's just gonna stay broken. I don't know if I'm gonna fix it. Certainly not anytime soon. I might give it another shot if I need it, after I can maybe save up some cash, but right now I have not really needed that laptop. Ooh. I like these weird bites I'm taking out of it. I like these weird, awful bites I'm taking out of them. Damn, that looks good. Gizzard. Do something like that. This is a practice I need to do more. Exactly what I'm doing right here. Then we go back. Really, the right thing to do would be to make a layer behind it, but I'm not gonna. Why, might you ask? I like that I'm going again with the last 2 pieces, whether it be laziness or not. I like that I've gone for a very physical media style with it, anyways. Like I've really emphasized on trying to make it feel like it's a physical medium piece. In doing that, Kind of requires me to draw it like I was drawing a physical medium. And again, the important thing to remember is that everything that I'm doing here, I would do with a physical medium, and I would know how to do it. So it's not like other than the undo button, obviously, it's not like I wouldn't know how to do a lot of the things that I'm doing in this piece. Quote unquote, fix it. Oops. Oops. I need to switch to the other one, actually. Essentially, what I like to do is use this eraser as like a blending tool, essentially. And help smudge it a little bit without having to use a smudge tool. What's funny is I find that the blend or smudge tool just I haven't really connected with in this program. It just hasn't worked the way that I like it to work, so I haven't really used it. I've tried a couple times. I certainly have tried to get it to work, and it just never quite does exactly what I want it to. Not quite, anyways. Ooh, that's a cool effect. Gonna do that more. Helps give it a little bit of shapiness. It's almost kind of like Man of War-ish now. Not supposed to be. I like it. It's weird. It's weird. Me, I like that it's weird. There, there we go. Here. Bit more blue here. Bit I really like how that's coming out. Yeah, that's quite good. Go away, hair. I have a fucking hair in the way. There we go. That's real good. Ooh, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, that looks really, really good. Looks nice. It's blue? It's brown. And this is what I like to do now. I just keep adding a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, switch colors, add a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It gets to just the right amount. Like that, I think. And check this, that. Like that. Uh-oh. Crybaby's here. You want Crybaby? You want Crybaby? He makes demands, but I don't know what he wants. He sure does like to make demands and then not tell me what he wants. He's demanding, but he's not telling me. I mean, this is how they operate. I'm not saying I don't expect it. I'm just saying I wish you would. Communication's important. switch you something like that. The hard part is getting that coloration down and then getting the right shade. Now, just gonna focus on this. That way. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Once again, you can really tell where I focus, but eh. Nobody is perfect. Thank you. Ah, that hard edge. And again, it's like I say, it's like using an the X-Acto knife is the IRL version of doing what I'm doing here. You just take the edge, you just scrape. You just scrape. You don't cut, you scrape. You almost like the way you want to tilt the X-Acto knife is you actually want to tilt it away from the direction that you're scraping. So you're like scraping with the back end of the edge. You're not cutting into the paper. You're just flicking it off. You're just flecking it off. I've given it enough to a little bit of. It's enough to give it a little bit of texture. Yeah, it's coloration. Okay, got that right. That's better. What I'm saying, I'm like, how is it that much different? I just wanted to darken a little bit. Here's what I need to do. Take that. Not do that, right? Now path. That. Not enough to get that color back in. I don't want it. I don't want it to be muted. More like 40. There we go. Not trying to add lines, just trying to add a little bit more depth to things. Little bit more. Just need some definition in some places. Yeah, that's coming along real nicely. That. Just thinking very carefully of where to actually add a lot of this. All these defining lines. I don't want it to overwhelm it. Definitely needs them somewhere. here. Just gonna try to preserve these kind of finer lines. Leg pits. Look at his leg pits. You're nasty if you look at his leg pits. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. Ugh. Need to take this. Soft. Kind of reduce it a little bit. In fact, I probably need to go bigger. There we go. I really like how this eraser works now. Now that I've been using it, like, now that I understand how it, like, works. It's really, really nice. Go to a 10. A little bit there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a, that's a good Carnotaurus, isn't it? Who's a good Carnotaurus? This boy. This boy's a good Carnotaurus. I would pet this boy. I would absolutely pet this boy. Look at how good he is. On one hand, I know I've like mentioned this that it's like, yeah, I would probably get my hand bitten off, but on the other, I feel like if there's anything humanity's good at, it would be being able to domesticate anything, and you're damn right, if dinosaurs existed, we would eventually domesticate some of even the biggest ones. I'd lose both my hands trying, happily. Stripes on legs are always a little bit weird. I'm gonna try something. This. Like it? Like that, maybe? This might take a little bit of experimentation. But I think that, yeah, that makes sense to me. Lighter. That makes sense to me. Ooh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Did you know I like the things I'm doing? 'Cause I do. Do a little bit more with the body, but it's coming along, I think. And this is why this is how you have to handle the best way to handle colored pencil is to be constantly switching colors too, like be adding different ones. Go light, thick, put to about half. There we go. Do that. Dark. Actually, I'm gonna go fine. Let's go. Start solidifying that back color. My elbow hit that cup, and I was like, "Oh no, nothing in, nothing in it," and I didn't knock it over. Something like this. Just keep adding. There we go. This is also maybe the best set of hips I've ever. This is the best set of dino hips I ever did done. God damn it. Woohoo! That looks good. That looks really good. And it's 10:30. I think it's time. I think I take it. Take it. I think we take it. Take. I am. It looks good. I feel like recently I've just been making work. The work I've been doing is not me in a good way. It's it's not me. It's not the work that I knew myself to be. That's good. I feel very good about the work I do now. Boy, 24 is about to end. Boy, I hope 2025 goes better. Don't we all? Trust me. I don't know anybody who wouldn't be like, yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, me too. You're out there and not going, man, I hope next year's better. I'm glad or frustrated that you think that. Boy, was last year kind of nightmare. And more. I think we put it right there. Try something. Go up to 20, I think. Oh, 15. Yeah. Nope. I like it blockier. The reason why I'm experimenting with it is the letters I did in the picture at the end of the Millennia video, I really liked doing them that way, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I should do this at some point. Like, I should really sit down and just make this so that way I never have to make it again, but I like that I do it every time. It gives me practice and ways to improve it. Also, I feel like my handwriting has just gotten very legible over time. Because God knows I used to have awful handwriting, trust me. It was never this good until fairly recently, I would say. There he is. He's not done, but he looks good. He looks really good. He looks really, really good. Let me actually... There. Big as it'll go. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Alright. Let me start my outro. I want to stop up. Let me stop up. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to do Carnotaurus. That was the right freaking call, man. I was just like, should I? Yes, I should. The answer? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, I should. Absolutely, it's good. Absolutely, it's hood. Alright, so, we're going to make an image together. All that takes is before the end of every stream, I open up Bing Create, which is an image generator. And whatever chat says, I'll utilize as a reference. And then I'll share the image, I'll generate an image and share it before we raid out. So to get us started, picking Carnotaurus uncertainly. It really does not. Does not. Okay. Yeah, it really doesn't. It does not like that word. Picking Carnotaurus uncertainly to uncertainly as the reference only to draw it in the ancient Aztec style with splendor and joy. Alright. Alright. Let that go for a second. Well then. Alright. So, we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and start my outro. I got it ready. So stick around to the very end. I also do a bit of a closing bit, and we do raid after every stream. So that way the vampires in our chat can keep watching. Just everybody else out there, make sure to go lock your doors and windows, because it's almost lunchtime for vampires. And thank you for joining, everybody. Hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the show. If you're able to join the live show, thank you for stopping by and chatting and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for taking the time to go back and rewatching the VOD. We appreciate it. If you're out there and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of what we're up to, I recommend scrolling down below and following or clicking any of the links. There's a link to an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, and a Discord. We post when we go live on any one of those platforms, as well as anything else that we're up to, and just generally you can come hang out with the rest of the community there. It's a good time on the Discord. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community there, and everyone who follows. And a Blueski. Oh, have I not? I haven't been saying that. I should be talking about the Booski. I should be mentioning the Booski. Thank you. Speaking of which, a shout out to our community on the Discord and on Booski and everywhere else. And everyone who follows. You guys are a wonderful audience. We appreciate you. If we do anything particularly entertaining or noteworthy, feel free to clip it and share it on the internet. Just make sure to also hashtag it MCCanary or link it back to the stream so people could find more of the good stuff we do here. As always, if you want to see the stream grow, you gotta let people know. I appreciate that people have been telling people about the stream, and I encourage you guys to do it more. It does help us out. It's just a really nice thing that you can do. So, if you want to help us out, just be a cool guy. Tell people about the stream. I won't. And as always, a huge thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Thank you to Mo Shrimp and all of our supporters on Patreon and Twitch. Your generosity allows us to continue to expand the stream as well as take on more projects, and the stream would not be made possible without viewers like you. So we thank you. If you want to see your name added to this list, as well as a couple other benefits you can get, you could always subscribe directly on Twitch or check out the Patreon page here. It'll show you everything that you can get, and any amount is always appreciated. Once again, thank you. And thank you, Dream Mods, doing a wonderful job holding back the robot army and friend of becoming famous. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas season. It's already a week away. I'll get you through housekeeping and get you on your way. Check out the rest of my friends in Goblin Entertainment. That link tree has a link to everyone's channels in our network and everything that they've done and they've been up to. And you can find the rest of my stuff here. I have my own link tree that has everything that I post to, such as a VOD channel for the Twitch, as well as a YouTube for my own videos, an ArtStation for my art, a SoundCloud for my music, much, much more. So go check everybody out in Goblin Entertainment. Alright. Who to go? Who to go? Who to go to? Who to see? Is even online. Who's someone we haven't? Who should we go to? Where should we? Let's go say hi to Vumu. She's been doing Path of Exile 2, which I am curious about. I actually played a little bit of Path of Exile 1 with David. It was a lot of fun. So honestly, we'll go say hi to her. She's a good gal. Everybody be nice. Otherwise, have a good evening. Take it easy. And remember, draw dinosaurs. Draw more dinosaurs. Everybody draw dinosaurs. Just learn how to draw dinosaurs. It's not that hard. You gotta learn how to do the lines and the shapes. And use an X-Acto knife. Use an X-Acto knife. Go rar. Dino go rar. This is true. Dino do go roar. Dino do in fact go roar. Huh. Huh. They didn't know what the Carnotaurus was. How'd they not know my favorite dinosaur? Uh-oh. Why did it just break? Uh-oh. Oh. They knew it was a dinosaur. They didn't know what Bing didn't know what dinosaur, but it knew it was a dinosaur. It did understand the assignment that it did need to draw a dinosaur. It just didn't know what dinosaur. So I'll give you credit for that, Bing. This one is pretty fucking cool. It's like the Immaculate Conception.